Hey, everybody. It's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. We're going to look at a couple of big hurdles that XRP has, as well as some recent developments in the news that is giving them a few steps forward. First, I want to address one more time about the thoughts that Chris Larson had in relocating the headquarters of Ripple to a more crypto-friendly country. I don't think it's theater, and I'm going to give you some examples of why. Here, on August 3rd, we learned that Standard Chartered entered the crypto custody service, and they did so with their Singapore-based ventures arm, and they're going to set up in the UK. Singapore and the UK were two of the countries that Ripple cited as being possible locations for relocation. And I think when you look at this kind of service that's being embraced by these countries, and they're going to be able to offer this service to clients around the world, you can see that they are clearly in friendly territory in those two countries. There were 60% in a survey that was released 11 days ago that have the banks really worrying about cryptocurrency. They feel like it could expose them to some sort of criminal activity, such as money laundering. So here is this article that was published by the American banker, and it goes on to talk about how things are just getting murkier for banks. Now, I know Brian Brooks of the OCC, he's the comptroller. He issued that interpretive letter back in July confirming that banks can offer custody services for digital assets, including holding cryptographic keys, but it still is just not clear enough. And I think that what this means is that the OCC is going to have to do a lot more to get out in front of these countries that are pulling ahead, like Germany, Switzerland, Japan, the UK, and Singapore. And so I just, when you take a look at what's going on in the space, like, for example, the actions against the exchange BitMEX on October 1st, where the Department of Justice and the Commodity Futures Trading Commission filed a civil enforcement action against 3 of the executives for violating anti-money laundering regulations. You know, this was a big setback because the banks are watching this. And when we have bad actors in the space, it really presents a drag on everybody. And this recent Department of Justice PDF that came out just proves that they want to be a big Rottweiler with real teeth to aggressively go after these types of bad actors. And then you've got this interview that appeared with the co-founder of SushiSwap. Just, what was it, September 11th this was published. Here he is appearing with mask and sunglasses. And of course, Chef Nomi cashed out like a week after the platform went live. And then he returned the money. So what a messy mess. You know, there are just these kinds of issues that give us a little bit of some setback. But it's not all bad. There is a silver lining. Of course, there always is a silver lining. We have Kraken. They won the bank charter approval in Cheyenne, Wyoming. This is the first digital asset exchange company in the US to be recognized as a bank. And I'm sure the banks are definitely going to be watching their moves, and I expect they are going to be successful. And another really good thing that just came out of this interview with Pomp in the LA Blockchain Summit. If you haven't seen this one, this is really good. This is the CFTC, the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. This is the chairman, and I really think you have to have a listen to this.
And so we want to learn as much as we can, and we want to listen to the blockchain community. And at the same time, we hope the blockchain community would listen to us to learn a little bit about our regulatory framework. So there truly is a meeting of the minds. But in terms of education, Just during the pandemic, our lab CFTC has held something like 60 different courses. And I myself have taken tutorials. So for a series of 6 to 8 weeks, every Wednesday and Thursday night, I would sit down and I have a course on various types of technologies. I'd learn the SHA 256, how the algorithm works, really get into the details, because I feel like, look, at the end of the day, this is under my purview, and I owe it to the blockchain community to at least understand it to a level that I can make informed policy decisions. And then the final thing I would say is, in Washington, there's a mantra: personnel is policy. It all comes down to the people in many cases. So we've looked, and I've tried to hire people that come from the tech community. So our new head of Lab CFTC, she came from a Silicon Valley-based company. One person in my office, as well as one of our division directors, came from a cryptocurrency exchange. And then finally, we just hired one of the few PhD Ivy League economists in the world with a background in crypto. So it's really important that we have those people in the agency. And so while we're never going to have the kind of innovative culture that a Silicon Valley-based firm has, for example, we can at least have people that are familiar with the technology, that want to learn, and that are willing to take risks.
I think that was really great news. I mean, he has hired 4 new people with a tech background. That's really good. And this is also quite interesting. I want to thank everyone who brought this video back to me. This is the one that went dark, and it is a link that is working. I wanted to play this portion. It's only like 20 seconds long. This is why this space is so interesting, because it is really enormous. Have a listen to this.
Payments industry is able to keep up with this. There are absolutely enormous values involved. It's estimated that between 2017 and 2027 there'll be an increase of $100 trillion in cross-border payments, so taking it up to about $250 trillion. So it's an enormous amount of money flowing around.
Yeah, I just really wanted you to hear that for your own ears, because that is a lot of money flowing around for sure. All right, I'm going to take you to the brand new Ripple website. This is really a beautiful new redesign. And you can see that Ripple is now live in 55 countries with 95 currency pairs, and ODL, it's live in 5 regions. So I think, even though we're not seeing yet the volume that we want to see, this is why we keep paying attention, because eventually these regions are going to grow, the corridors are going to grow, the amount of XRP needed to facilitate this is going to grow. When that has some pressure on the demand, you're going to see that relate to the pressure on the supply. And what's really interesting is you've got the US, okay, you've got Australia down here, we have Mexico, we have the Philippines, which is right here. And then when we look at Europe, this is interesting. Here is the UK, but also Iceland, Norway, Sweden, Denmark, and Finland. So that was kind of a new list of countries, which I didn't know. I knew we were in the Eurozone, but I didn't know that ODL was actually in this Northern Europe region as well. And I think a lot of you are familiar with the new credit line that's going to be extended by Ripple for getting those transmitters in the capability to be able to use XRP to expand their offerings in new corridors. This is really a great innovation, and Warren Paul Anderson also tweeted out that the true innovation is continuing to deliver unexpected value to customers at scale using new tools and services, and it's another win for on-demand liquidity, ODL customers and XRP. It is yet something we really just have to pay attention to, all the ways this digital asset is being utilized. And this too, I think some of you are remembering that SBI is going to have a new eSports team. They are going to create this team that will be compensated with XRP. So anytime that the digital asset is being used, we are seeing the positive effects on that supply that is out there. And this team, this is really interesting. This team is going to be tokenized this month. There'll be 1,000 shares created that will come to market. Each share will be priced at 50,000 yen, which is just under 500 US dollars. SBI is going to be the underwriter. And yeah, it's a chance to actually own a professional team. Now you might think that, oh gosh, this is just gaming. Well, the gaming industry has a lot of professional players now, and it's becoming fast a $1 billion industry. And this is an article that was in the Motley Fool on October 6th. It talks about the esports growth is just getting started, and that there is lots of runway to develop because it is so lucrative. It's not only lucrative for the sponsorships and for the fans, but also as an ETF, an electronically traded fund. So there's a lot of people who are crazy for this sport, especially in Asia. And we just had Jay Clayton say that the SEC is willing to try a tokenized ETF. So it's not all steps backwards, but we have steps forward as well. All right, everybody. Yeah, I think I just wanted to briefly talk about tokenization really quick. This isn't fluff, but this is so interesting. So the real estate is one of those other assets that are being tokenized. I mean, fine art is being tokenized, real estate is being tokenized. Anything that doesn't have high liquidity is going to be tokenized. This is an office building, commercial space of the future. They say it's the first building to be built with the current global situation in mind. It has these open air meeting areas. It has touch-free intercom system, a very advanced clear air system, same as that they use in hospitals, has a germ-free elevator, has a temperature check when you walk in the lobby. It has a special paint that kills 99.9% of these kind of staph infections. It has touch-free solar-powered faucets, soap, flush valve toilets, and even the different floor access is all touch-free. Extra wide corridors, these outdoor balconies. You have to look at this one rotating. Here we go on the left here with these outdoor balconies so you can get the fresh air flowing through. I think this is fantastic. And it even has a new elevator that is by MAD, and you step on the, it was kind of like pedals. I don't know if I put a picture in. Maybe I didn't put a picture in for you. No, I didn't. It has, you operate the elevator by your feet. You know, I showed a vending machine in Japan that is now something that you can operate with your feet. And I thought that was just crazy. But now here, this office space, which is going to be in Chicago, has an elevator that you can operate with your feet. Wow, this world is just, like I say, getting weirder. And this is something that's gone viral in the last couple of days. It's how to cool your computer or your laptop. I didn't know this, but we have a 10 yen coin that's made of copper. And I guess the copper brings out the heat and transfers the heat from your laptop to the actual coin, which cools your computer down. I just don't know if this is true. If you have any information on this, I'd love to hear from you, because I often kind of run into that problem where my laptop gets, I think, warmer than it should. I would love to try this, and if anybody knows if this is really for real, I'd love to know that. And then this is the perfect time of year to come to Japan, and I just wanted to show you because I checked on Crypto Eri, which is a website that I often use. The round trip flights between the United States and Tokyo are unbelievably low. Look at this. You can go round trip for $687. I haven't seen prices like this for more than 10 years. This is amazing. And just to share with you what it looks like right now, this is just outside Tokyo, like just there in Chiba. And it is getting awfully beautiful about this time of year. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.